What was the Earth like when dinosaurs ruled? The earliest dinosaurs were about the same height as chickens. At that time, except for dinosaurs, there are some strange creatures living on Earth, and terrifying creatures. Some even ate dinosaurs. This issue is a bit long. I will take you to understand this ancient biological warlord, the Age of Chaos. In the late Triassic period, 230 million years ago, appeared on Earth. One of the earliest dinosaurs was Pterosaurus. He doesn't even have a chick yet. Many people think he is a carnivore in the restaurant, but now we know he was probably a vegetarian, feeding on new vegetation around the world. But dinosaurs didn't stay that way forever. They began to evolve rapidly, growing more flexible limbs. Bones become strong, can support more muscles. These evolutions, this caused dinosaurs to gradually grow larger, a more menacing creature. For example, Hershey enters the bird cage. It is about 3 meters long. It was one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs of its time. It has strong legs and clawed forearms, capable of chasing and attacking smaller prey. Like most early dinosaurs, a ornithine, the specific position of dinosaurs in the evolution of the still unclear, but he undoubtedly later. Carnivorous dinosaurs roamed the earth, setting the standard. Herbivorous dinosaurs also grew in size. For example, Paleontologist can reach 8 meters in length. He will probably be able to stand on his hind legs to construct vegetation on high ground. His super long neck make this action easier. This long neck feature, it was also common in later dinosaur species. But overall, when the dinosaurs lived a similar lifestyle, most follow some basic body structures, features such as bipedal walking, long tail and long neck. But at this time, the dinosaurs were far away. There's still a long way to go before we rule the world. In the wasteland of other traces, there are many exotic animals active in the most eye-catching one is Changelong. It is a reptile. There are very eye-catching branches on its back. So far, no one knows for sure what these branches do. It's not even clear what they're made of. But some speculate that they are super elongated scales. Some people also speculate this could be one of the earliest signs of feathers. Speaking of feathers, what was the scene in the sky like at that time? At the end of the 3-disc season, a creature has evolved the ability to fly. And with this advantage, he dominated the sky. He is a dragon. These reptiles have a lot of space. The hollow skeleton of Chi. This makes them light enough, able to sustain flight. Since there is no competitor, the sky became their territory. Eudipidus was one of the earliest pterosaurs. He looks weird, with a long tail and strange teeth, from sharp fangs to smaller multi-space teeth. Given its small size, a lamp is only 1 meter. Paleontologists speculate that it fed on small fish. Its large incisors are suitable for catching small fish. The back teeth are used to tear fish meat. This reminds me, primitive fish aren't the only ones roaming the oceans. Marine reptiles also make their first appearance in the 3-disc season. The most famous one is the snake-well dragon, and scary appearance, fish-like ichthyosaur. It is worth mentioning that the fish dragon of 3 butterflies. The estimated length is about 25 meters, the largest known predator. These magnificent creatures, wandering the earth for millions of years. But about 2.011 years ago, Pangea begins to break apart as the continental plates move, caused catastrophic volcanic activity. It brought disaster to the Triassic agent. 4 major volcanic eruptions. The atmospheric temperature first drops suddenly and then rises suddenly, caused a forest fire. 76% of life on Earth was destroyed. Even top plunderers, eater-posterous common land animals, also extinct. However, most of the dinosaurs miraculously escaped the disaster. It turns out that volcanic activity. Initially, large amounts of sulfur were released into the atmosphere, and carbon dioxide. the shaded sunlight. This led to an extremely cold volcanic winter. Many species became extinct as a result. However, most dinosaurs have evolved warm feathers close to the poles. More vegetated areas protect against severe cold. This adaptation saved them. When the climate warms again, they can also adapt to hot environments. With the disappearance of many competitors, the stage is finally set for dinosaur dominance. The Jurassic Era is about to begin. As Pangea split, two new continents were formed, Laurasia and Gondwana. These two continents, separated by the prehistoric ocean valleys and the low seas. By the end of the Jurassic, the Atlantic Ocean also began to form. Various straits and islands continue to emerge, shaping a new landscape, despite the volcanic winter. But the long-term effects of the end Triassic extinction event. The Earth is warming significantly. Tropical oceans today, for the evolving marine reptiles, provides the perfect home. They not only in the triad, surviving the mass extinction, also took this opportunity to flourish. Ichthyosaurs are no longer like their Triassic. The ancestors of the drug are so huge, but it continues to evolve, especially in the eyes. They have the famous for the largest eyes. Take the example of the dragon. His eyes are nearly 23 centimeters in diameter, compared with its body length of about 5.8 meters. This is the percentage of eyes among all reptiles. The biggest, such huge eyes. It allows him to see clearly in the deepest part of the ocean. But there are more than just reptiles and fish in the ocean. Meet head-on shrimp. He's not an alien compared to Ophthalmosaurus. The eyes under the head. It accounts for 1/4 of his 20 centimeters body length. He would lie in wait for unsuspecting prey to swim by, then catch them with sharp seeds. Eat with relish. He looks a bit like a crustacean, but in fact, he belonged to a distant family that had long since died out, leading the way back to land. The tropical climate also brings other significant changes. Plants grow luxuriantly. Large tracts of more modern true-leaf forest cover the land. By the end of the Jurassic, all plant species that exist today, almost all have appeared. This lush land is also home to various extinct plants and ginkgo trees. They are all gymnosperms. The seeds of this plant are exposed, spread by wind. With so many new plants, there are also many small animals that feed on them. So now, let us focus on the protagonist again, on dinosaurs. The Triassic dinosaurs were too primitive, difficult to categorize. But in the Jurassic period, these creatures start clearly classified into those, defining their iconic category. For example, Lisothalamide. It is one of the earliest ornithischian dinosaurs. This group also includes horned dragons and Stegosaurus. Lesothosaurus was smaller, a herbivorous dinosaur, about 1 meter long, almost as tall as a chicken. They probably lived in groups to protect against predators. All ornithopod dinosaurs have evolved bird-like hip bones. The hip bone grows backward and downward instead of forward. Initially, people thought this is for digestion of food, provides more stomach space. But now some think it might help with breathing. For whatever reason, this adaptive feature, this has continued to this family. Its extraordinary effect can be seen in all the descendants of. Plus, they are highly specialized. Teeth suitable for grinding plants. Let the bird horn species thrive abnormally. On the other hand, Western horned dinosaurs appear. These huge, a giant with a long neck, debuted in the early Jurassic. It was already not to be underestimated at that time. In the late Jurassic, that is about 160 million years ago, their size has become extremely large. The most representative ones are Wanlong and Lianglong. They are all herbivorous dinosaurs. One is a vertical behemoth. The other is the Aquarius giant. Wanlong has a neck as long as 15 meters. Take the vegetation at high places. And his whole body is also very long, up to 26 meters, almost as long as 2 semi-trailers. But even so, Liang Long is also better. The longest Diplodocus specimen ever found, up to 33 meters, equivalent to half of a Boeing 747 passenger plane. The largest animal on land. Western horned dinosaurs had almost no natural enemies, able to grow without worries. But not all herbivorous dinosaurs were so huge. What about the smaller dinosaurs? How to defend yourself? Take Stegosaurus for example. He will use his spiky tail when fighting with the enemy, swinging the tail with great force. Give any predator a good blow. Although they are not as big as Diplodocus, but the size is not small. Some Stegosaurus are longer than Chongqing buses. With its huge body and sharp tail, they are able to protect themselves. As for the old board on the back of the Stegosaurus, there are several different speculations. Initially, people thought these old things were external defensive weapons, but now this view has been overturned because the old-fashioned may be too fragile. The more common view now is these plaques may have been used for courtship displays or to deter other Stegosaurus. Then, in the Jurassic forest, what vicious predators are lurking? They are theropod dinosaurs. This category covers almost everything you can think of. Carnivorous dinosaurs. In the Jurassic, at the top of the food chain might be Allosaurus. His mouth is full of jagged teeth. The forelimbs are equipped with extremely sharp claws and strong legs. Born to actively hunt prey, he's like an oversized lion, capable of sprinting short distances, but not good at long-term pursuit. As to whether he is a social animal like a lion, the jury is still out. Some believe they hunt in groups, hunting together like a sword. Dragons are difficult prey to deal with, but some people also think they are solitary animals with a strong sense of territory, more likely to kill each other than live in harmony. The argument in favor of the latter is actually quite convincing. After all, Itron is 5 meters tall, up to 12 meters in length. Such a huge size. Dinosaurs need a lot of food. It's hard to imagine them sharing food. In the Jurassic land, there are also Dilophosaurus wandering around. He is the one in the Jurassic Park movie, that iconic, sprays venom, a frilled dinosaur. But I may have to break some of your fantasies, because there is no evidence yet. The Dilophosaurus ranger does not spray venom, and it's different from the image in the movie. He's not a small predator. He is almost as tall as Yao Ming, longer than a half-millet lacquer car. So how did the term venom come about? Turn out to be Zhuangjisaurus has a strange groove on its lower jaw. This made experts doubt his bite strength at first. If the bite force is not strong enough to subdue the prey, then he must have other means of hunting. So there was the speculation of poisonous wildness. But due to the lack of the actual evidence, now makes it more reasonable to speculate that Dilophosaurus either used its huge size to intimidate other animal feeders or a fishing expert. And now, after repeated studies of the jaws of Dilophosaurus, scientists believe his bite force is much stronger than initially estimated. Fortunately, he is extinct. I don't want to. Met this guy in a dark alley. Elsewhere, some other theropod dinosaurs achieved amazing evolution, started to fly into the sky. The decapod is one of them, even though he is only as big as a magpie. But when it was discovered in 1861, it caused a sensation in the paleontological community. Darwin's theory of evolution had just been published. Controversy. This striking dinosaur, it provides favorable evidence for the theory of evolution. You can see that decapods evolve feathers and can fly. But is he flying or gliding? It is not clear yet. Decapods are a concrete example of biological evolution. He showed the theropod dinosaurs specific evolution to adapt to the environment. At the time he was discovered, this is undoubtedly a groundbreaking discovery. although the decapod tried to fly to the sky. But the Jurassic skies were still dominated by pterosaurs. And now, there are more types of pterosaurs, like other dinosaurs. As the Jurassic Era progressed, pterosaurs grew larger. Island pterosaurs are from the Jurassic, one of the largest pterosaurs, and the largest flying bird today, wandering albatross. It has strange teeth, probably used to hunt fish and squid in the ocean. Pterodactylus. They later became even bigger, different from other dinosaurs. These guys have short tails, long skull, and often with conspicuous officers. Used for courtship. Show these fish-eating guys. There seems to be a throat sac. This may be for their convenience. When catching food from the sea, drain excess seawater. In fact, Echolon's origin is not very impressive. But in the next period of Earth's history, their true potential is revealed. Mammals are different. They need more time to evolve. Our ancestors continued to divide and multiply, evolving new adaptive traits. Learn to climb, digging and gliding. Many people believe that in a world ruled by dinosaurs, mammals are struggling to survive. But that's not the case. Only, they really have to wait until the end of the Jurassic period. The real glorious era will come. Speaking of which, you may think I'm going to give another speech. A global disaster. But it won't. The boundary between the Jurassic and Beaufort periods. There is no iconic mass extinction. Event discovery. That's why. This dividing line is difficult to define precisely. Scientists believe the Jurassic period ended about 145 million years ago. But this classification is quite subjective. The succession of geological periods is an extremely slow process. Late Jurassic and early Leucocene may look very similar, but it is certain that white evil will not last long. So, a key development was the evolution of flowering plants. Then came the bees. They helped pollinate plants. This eventually became one of the most influential changes. As biology advances, the continents continue to move slowly but steadily. Gradually, it took on the look we are familiar with today. These plate movements will. Earth's tectonic plates pull apart, creates channels for magma to emerge from the ground, triggered a large number of volcanic eruptions. After the eruption, massive global warming ensues. White evil. It may be the first time in Earth history, one of the warmest periods. Rampant volcanic activity causes ice sheets to melt. Dramatic rise in sea levels. In fact, the sea level of this era is the highest in Earth's history. Highest. Naturally, there is so much seawater. Marine reptiles also ushered in a golden age. A new dominant species emerges. Songlong. This predatory animal with a snake-like body, searching for prey on the seafloor. The Songlong family is extremely successful. They thrive in the oceans. The entire Belarusian period was flourishing. But the most powerful one is Hoffman Songlong. This giant predator. The estimated length is up to 17 meters. That's the length of 3 giraffes. But there is nothing similar between a dragon and a giraffe. As the version of the white evil ocean, the ladderbell. They eat almost everything. Fish, ichthyosaur. Shejinglong is even the same species. It's chilling to think about it. White festival. There's also a creature that is not so scary, the giant turtle. It is the largest sea turtle ever. At a glance, you might think it resembles a modern sea turtle. But when you know that it can reach 4.6 meters in length, when the body weight exceeds 2,041 kilograms, you won't think so. Above the water, pterosaur in the sky. They finally reach their peak. The iconic 5-foot pterosaur takes flight, catching fish from the water below. They can reach up to 7 meters. But the 5-foot pterosaur wasn't the biggest. Another Quetzalcoatlus. He may be the largest flying animal ever. When he stands, he is as tall as a giraffe. One extension reaches 12 meters. This pterosaur looks like a monster. It is hard to imagine that such a giant beast can actually fly. It probably evolved into lizards and small dinosaurs, feeds on other small animals, and swallowed it whole. But the sky isn't the only place with surprises. The place of organisms is on land. In addition to the emerging flowering plants, other plant species remain largely unchanged. However, many animals, like snakes and lizards, but it has evolved into something closer to modern times. But some of them, not a cute little animal, a prehistoric monster. For example, the devil frog. It is also called dinosaur frog. Why is it called this name? No other reason. Because he eats dinosaurs, but only for young dinosaurs. Although it is a young dinosaur, but it's also very powerful. This frog is almost certainly, it was the largest frog at that time. Body length, about 40 centimeters. Devil frog. They weren't the only animals that ate dinosaurs. The evil species and their close relatives are also very prosperous in the white evil extreme. Different from the devil frog. The devil preyed on adult dinosaurs. It might be the largest crocodile ever. This giant crocodile is as tall as a full-grown man. Length 12 meters, maybe even longer. Speculated by paleontologists. It could be like a modern crocodile, lurking in lakes and other water bodies. Take advantage of the dinosaurs to launch a surprise attack when they lower their heads to drink water. Some people found, at that time, the largest, the most ferocious dinosaur fossils. There are horrible bite marks on it. This shows that this crocodile is fearless. The Jurassic period is often considered the age of giants. Indeed, dinosaurs were around during this period, beginning to grow in size. But in the White Age, everything has developed to the extreme. We don't quite know why, but this may be related to the atmospheric composition at that time. In the middle of the White Evil period, dinosaurs in their ecological niche, there is basically no competitor. This situation lasted for about 100 million years. This enables them to, in an environment without survival pressure, growth and adaptation, further improve your way of living. Size usually means strength, protection, and deterrence. These dinosaurs are undoubtedly very deterrent. Remember the Jurassic? Those giant oceratops? Compared to Tyrannosaurs. They are like little kids. Tyrannosaurs are super-large ceratosaurian dinosaurs. The largest of these was probably the Argentinosaurus. Its maximum length can reach 26 meters, almost as long as a small span, weighing 65 tons, as heavy as a blue whale. Like the previous western horned dinosaurs, he is only interested in plants, using a long neck, reach high plants to eat. But in biology, it wasn't just the Occidentalis that got bigger. Ornithoceratops also evolved and diversified development. Some evolved into ceratopsians, for example, Triceratops, and these dinosaurs with hybrid shields. They have huge feet to protect against the deadliest predator of the era. In other places, cage species have also appeared. These bipeds had skulls from later times, possibly for self-protection, or headbutt a competitor like a lost man. But ornithopods, the largest number of them may belong to the hadrosaurs. They are also called Mesozoic sheep, distributed in groups all over the place. Unlike sheep, their mouths are filled with hundreds of teeth, great for grabbing and grinding plants. Some dinosaurs resemble clones. It also has a huge hollow crown. Scientists are not sure what the crown was used for. There are several guesses. It is possible that he used it to make sounds by blowing air, to communicate or regulate body temperature, maybe even a built-in snorkel. At last, ankylosaurs also ushered in their heyday. We now know these mobile fortresses may have originated in the Jurassic, but it was most successful in the Belarusian. The most famous of these is probably the ankylosaur, even though he is a herbivore. But the whole body is covered with bone helmets. There's also a thick tail wing at the end of the tail. Therefore, predatory theropod dinosaurs generally did not dare to provoke him easily. But this does not mean no theropod dinosaurs will prey on these huge armored animals. Elsewhere, feathered dinosaurs roamed the land. They use huge curved horns, claws to grab elusive prey. Maybe you are more familiar with another name of them. Velociraptor dwarf, Jurassic Park, super smart pack hunters in the movies. Maybe it's just fiction, because there is little evidence yet. They will cooperate, although we think they were relatively smart among dinosaurs. But it's still far from being as smart as humans. Perhaps the strangest theropod dinosaur is This strange dinosaur is about the size of a chicken, feathers that resemble hair. There are strange horny spikes on the shoulders. These spikes, possibly used to intimidate competitors or dolls. Unlikely to be a weapon, because they are so impractical. And the dragon appears to have fed on insects and small lizards. Unless he wants to string his prey together, make beetle kebabs. Otherwise, I really can't think of these sharp. What is the use of thorns? Although the progress bar is about to reach the bottom. But don't panic, because I still have some weird species to talk about. For example, Kong Shoyulong, this strange omnivorous dinosaur. It is the largest of the Tetraornithidae. It can occupy more than 4.6 meters, as long as a telephone pole, may be covered with feathers, spoon-shaped mouth and long, skinny arms ending in deadly claws. There is also a dinosaur, known for its scary claws. Therizinosaur was like some kind of giraffe, a combination of a stone beast and a dinosaur. This unique dinosaur is nearly 20 feet tall. Maybe use its 1 meter long giant claws tear down high branches to obtain food. It will also be like the modern giant stone beasts. Use claws for self-defense. Can cause some damage when threatened. I believe you guys have been waiting for the T-Rex to show up. Tyrannosaurus rex. Although he is not the largest dinosaur, but it's definitely the most fierce. Tyrannosaurus rex is 12 meters long, as tall as 2 adults. He is a natural hunter, have a keen sense of smell, can track prey. Once the prey is caught, his huge mouth, the bite force is stronger than any other known animal. He also has weird little short arms, but no one knows for sure yet. What is the function of the arm? Some people speculate. When the Tyrannosaurus rex holds its prey in its mouth, the small arms can be used to cut open prey. Some say it is during mating, to catch a spouse. Others think they are just vestigial organs. It's a useless relic. If Tyrannosaurus rex continued to evolve. 655. These arms may disappear completely. After all, they all have such a powerful mouth. Who needs arms? If Tyrannosaurus rex wasn't the largest theropod dinosaur, who is the biggest one? It's Jilung, but he is completely different from Tyrannosaurus rex. Most of the time, Jilung didn't hunt other dinosaurs. He probably ate mainly fish. But if there were dinosaurs nearby during a drought, Jilung will definitely not refuse a buffet because of his dense bone structure. Relatively easy to dive underwater to hunt. For him, he is lurking by the lake, swimming in the water to hunt. There is still controversy. If he could swim, that huge sail on his back and its shaped tail may aid in propulsion in water. However, the sympathetic nervous system may also be used to regulate body temperature or attract a mate. We are not sure yet. At the same time, mammals have also evolved a key features placenta to provide nutrition to the fetus during pregnancy. Basically now, all existing mammals have this characteristic. At this time, mammals has a lot of useful tools, has unlimited potential. They just need a chance. But that time has not yet come. The behavioral period ended about 66 million years ago, along with the history of the Earth. The most famous mass extinction event, volcanic eruptions, became more frequent in the late. Massive lava eruption releases large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. As a result, the proportion of oxygen in the atmosphere decreases. Some scientists believe this caused many large dinosaurs to suffocate and die. That is to say, great extinction of white evil. One of the most mysterious, unsolved mysteries. There are also many people who firmly deny that oxygen content related to the extinction of dinosaurs. One way or another, oxygen is not the only problem. The continents continue to move, destroy and disrupt the entire ecosystem. Just in the situation, it seems like it can't get any worse. The real disaster of world destruction came from the sky. One diameter, a giant asteroid over 10 kilometers long hit the Earth, formed a crater with a diameter of 179 kilometers. The shock wave from the impact spread across the globe, caused wildfires, earthquake, tsunamis, and various catastrophic natural disasters. Large amounts of volcanic ash filled the atmosphere, blocking out the sun for months. In such a harsh environment, up to 60% of plants died. All large animals became extinct, like mammals. Small creatures, such as lizards, snakes, and fish, may be hiding underground or survived in the deep sea. But large marine reptiles, such as snakes, all the dragons in the well were extinct. The pterosaurs also disappeared completely. Of course, most dinosaurs became extinct. Don't most mean all? Not all dinosaurs became extinct. At least one survived. Small, feathered, horned dinosaur. Their small size enable them to survive in harsh environments. Survive this disaster. They later evolved into birds. Until today, they were served on the table. It's even made into cat food. The former overlord of the earth has now fallen to this state. After this catastrophe, the surviving small animals crawled out of the cave, facing a dead world, the Mesozoic. The era of reptiles is finally over. Finally, it is the turn of mammals to rule the earth. The golden age of mammals has officially arrived. But that's another story.